Kendrea, welcome to the Partially Cooked podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I'm so excited.
We're so excited to have you. For anyone that hasn't seen this podcast before, what we do is we interview 5 comedians a month, and we get them to open up via weird questions that we ask them. And then those comics that we've had on our podcast can use this podcast as fodder for a live roast battle that we do once a month at the Joint Comedy Theater in North Little Rock. We're
soon to be Birdie's Cabaret.
Yes.
They're about to change over.
Soon to be Birdie's Cabaret, which we have been grandfathered in.
Thankfully, I'm really excited about it.
we
Hell yeah.
We don't know the date in June yet, but we know that we will be there. But our last for sure gig is May 1st, and you'll be on that show along with a lot of other comics from around the region. But Kendrea, thank you so much for joining us. How have you been? How long have you been doing stand-up comedy, Kendrea?
I started in August of last year.
Oh my gosh, less than a year then.
So yeah, I'm a newborn baby.
Wow. I mean, I typically don't book comics as new as you. I had no idea. So you've been faking it till you make it.
Yeah,
very
tricked
well. You got me. I had no idea. All right, well, great. Well, we're so glad you joined. Where did you get your start? Was it the Fort Smith area?
Bentonville, Northwest Arkansas.
Bentonville.
So, yeah, I moved here about a year ago and started doing it.
Okay, so you're very new to it. What do you think in these 10 months that you've been doing it is your strangest gig that you've had so far?
Strangest gig. I don't know if it was the strangest, but the venue was weird. It was cool. It was a bar and a laundromat.
Okay.
In Tulsa, and there were families there doing their laundry when we were doing the show. So, yeah, it was interesting. It was really cool. I loved it. But, yeah, I've been really fortunate. I've had some really shows with people showing up, so
that's always good.
That's what matters. It doesn't really matter where you are. As long as there's a crowd, that makes a big difference.
Yeah. More than 4 people, I'm down,
Okay, so in your short amount of time, can you recall the worst bomb that you've had so far? I haven't had a lot of time to bomb, but boy, that's surprising.
Yeah.
A lot of time to bomb.
Yeah, I bomb all the time. I mean, I feel like I go to open mics a lot. I'm, still new, so I go to open mics every week, and I'm always writing something that isn't working. The worst was at a weed show that I did a few months ago, and I think I got too high. I think everyone else got too high there. Like, it was just, I don't know. It was hard to.
Weed shows for me can get really complicated because oftentimes I'll do a joke and the timing is different because you have to let it sit and let it hit a little bit longer. And then when you do get a big laugh from, usually it's not like a sober hour, like people just screaming out loud. They're like, that's funny. Like they're stoned as shit and sitting in the back like, that's good.
The just rapid exhale only through their nostrils. Like, that's nothing. That's not a laugh. Give me something. Did you pay?
I need a reaction.
Okay, so this is kind of our stand-up portion here, and this is going to end the stand-up portion. Who do you think is the most influential comic that inspired you most, professional comic? And it could be famous, maybe not so famous, and they don't have to be the best, but just that inspired you the most.
Yeah. Well, honestly, my best friend, Shauna Blake, like, she's been doing stand-up for 10 years, and I write a lot with her.
Shauna's great. I love Shauna. She's hilarious.
She's great. And I would go and watch her show. I mean, for the 10 years she's been doing it, I would go to as many shows as I could just to watch her and go with her,
Oh, yeah.
Usually she'd get me in for free to a show. But I really like Taylor Tomlinson, too. She's dope.
Yeah. Taylor, I was fortunate enough when I was working out west, I worked at a comedy club that had 3 different rooms, and she would drop in and work her set in the small room and then tweak it and work it in the slightly bigger room and then tweak it and then work it in the main room. and like I got to see her work jokes. She had jokes written out and would have 3 or 4 punchlines for the joke, and then she would try it out, see how that works, then try a different punchline,
Right.
That was really cool to see, especially it being a young comic, because just because you got something funny doesn't mean it's done yet. And it taught me that, you can keep going and keep finding even funnier angles on the same premise.
Totally. I bet that was awesome.
Yeah, Taylor's great.
What a great opportunity.
Yeah, dude. It was
Yeah.
so rare, dude.
moving on to questions about work outside of comedy. What pays the bills outside of comedy for you?
I am a professor at a community college in Northwest Arkansas.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I've been doing that for the last. I was living in Missouri, teaching at a university in Missouri, and then just moved here.
What do you teach?
I teach communication classes. So I teach a lot of public speaking classes.
That's good.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that ties right into stand-up really well.
Totally. I mean, that's half the battle is getting in front. I get stage time every Tuesday and Thursday in front of my students, so.
Yeah. So what's the worst job you've ever been fired from or quit?
The worst job. I worked at a grocery store when I was like 15, and I left the till out, just sitting on the counter, like where they sell the cigarettes, because I had to go to the bathroom really bad and I didn't know what to do. So I just sat it down. Customers were walking by and stuff, and I got fired that day.
What's a till? I don't know what a till is. The register till, like with all the money in it. Oh shit!
I had all the money in it. I took it because we're supposed to take it out when we have a break.
Yeah.
So I took it out to walk it over, and I can't remember, something happened, and I was like, I can't hold this anymore, and I just sat it down and left. That was the end of that.
Code Brown, I gotta leave this right here. Couldn't you have taken it with you or something? I don't know.
I was just like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm on my break. No one's here. Like, I'll just leave it. I'll come right back. Like, I just have to pee really quick. And
yeah, and they weren't having that, huh?
No, she was not happy.
I believe it.
I think I'm on their I think I'm on their side, maybe for the first time in this podcast.
Yeah, like if our door guy at the show was like, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom, let me just leave all the money here at the front door, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was just I have no idea. I was 15, I don't know.
Yeah. All right, what is the biggest lie you've ever put on a resume?
Volunteer work.
Okay. You're not volunteering.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Or just like I dated a guy in prison, and I would put that as volunteer work down as on my resume.
Wait, were you in prison or was he in prison?
No, he was like in county jail, and I'd go visit him and just put that down as volunteer work. So it's kind of true, but
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
I never would elaborate on it. So
yeah. So like your employers never asked about like your volunteer work or something. Oh, that'd be really funny. Like, hey, I got to leave work. Like, I got this thing at the prison. I've really got to go do.
Right.
Like,
I'm helping people.
Yeah, in the middle of the day. Like, what did you teach them? How to read a poem? I don't know. Just make something up or move on in my resume.
I don't even
distract
what's
them.
a prison visit like? Do you just catch them up on Game of Thrones? Like, what? I guess what is going on with that? Like,
yeah, you're just basically just sitting like this, talking, like on a TV, and then there's like, he left county and went to prison, and I would visit him there, and that was a little different.
Oh, that is commitment. Like you must have really loved that. What was he in prison for?
I was a ride or die.
Were you with him before prison, or was it like a pen pal situation?
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes
I didn't
sense.
meet him in regional county jail or something. Like I knew him before.
Yeah.
So there's more security at the post office than those like minimum security prisons. Like,
really?
you can, there's no fence. Like they could just, if they wanted to, they could just walk away. I wouldn't suggest it, but
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like
pretty
when
wild.
Martha Stewart went. It was like one of those, like, it's like a church camp.
Exactly. Yeah. So it wasn't real prison,
Right.
That's right. My mom doesn't listen to this podcast, but she went to prison, and when I was my junior,
Yeah, you told me about that.
so like,
No shit.
her, and it was just so. It was so funny because like the other inmates would be like, "You said his hair's too long. It looks great," and I had long flowing hair, and my mom was like, "Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him." I was like, "I love all these women."
Yeah.
And I was like, "But Mom, you said you learned to pee standing up." This is cool. Anyway,
Kendra, what is the weirdest coworker you've ever had to interact with? Or who would be the weirdest coworker you've ever had to interact with?
I worked at Walgreens for a little bit in college, and I worked with this woman who used to be a phone sex operator.
Okay.
wow.
And so we would like all make her do the evening announcements over the intercom and stuff like that. She was a wild woman.
Like, why am I turned on in this Walgreens?
I'd be so mad if I was shopping there and I'd be like, "Stop it." I gotta walk
The
out
heavy
of here.
breathing of Walgreens is closing in 10 minutes or whatever she did. Yeah.
Seth, you'd probably recognize her voice. You'd probably be like,
Hey,
Sarah?
I don't know. Who knows, man?
And the last question we have for you relating to jobs, Kendra, is what is the most ridiculous thing a boss has ever asked you to do?
I don't know. I guess not leave money out.
Fair and good.
I don't know. I had a boss once who would like bring, he was like moving a lot when I worked there, and he would bring his boxes to work and like tell me that I had to break all of them down for him and stuff like that.
Personal
So
boxes from home.
yeah, he would bring like these, big boxes, and I guess there wasn't a place for him to recycle them at home, or I don't know, but he would bring them to work, and that's it. That's the thing. It's like, it feels like he was fucking with me, bringing shit to work to have me break down.
That's unprofessional. That's a little fucked up.
Right? Yeah. And he was a manager. That was a weird job.
From usually when you steal time from your job, you're just hanging out, not working.
Right.
You're just riding the clock. But that dude was like making another employee steal time.
Yeah.
Bringing his body. Like that's diabolical. That's incredible.
I remember I told someone that he was doing that, and they were like, "You should document all of this. Like, you need to be writing this down."
Definitely,
Like,
Yeah, this is like what do you? It's cool that you got a new Samsung 72-inch 4K smart
Right?
TV, but what does this have to do with Applebee's? What are we doing here? Okay,
Exactly.
all right. Okay, so the next lump of questions is kind of a interesting subject because I gotta ask, and I don't ever like asking a woman how old they are, but today you're just a comic. You're just another comic, Kendra. So how old are you?
I'm 36.
36. All right. What's the dumbest thing? This is perfect. What's the dumbest thing you think you did in your 20s?
Date that guy who went to prison.
Right. Another great callback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
What was he
Yeah.
in prison for?
Oh, yeah.
drugs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did that relationship end? Like, were you like,
Not good.
oh, yeah.
Not well. Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing was toxic and immature, but
Did you break up with him when he was in prison?
no, I wish
Okay.
I would have. That would have been cool. Like, what a power move,
Yeah.
to be the one that got away, like, in prison.
Literally.
Yeah.
No, you waited for him to get out.
Yeah. Yeah. I waited for him to get out, do it, face to face. So without anyone guarding
Was there
guarding
kind
us.
of like bad boy factor playing into it? Was there like
Probably.
the theatrics? Okay, that's fair. I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. Yeah. Just like, I'm a pretty good girl, like mind my business, go to school. I was in college and stuff
Right.
at the time when it was going on. And like, I don't know, it was exciting.
It feels like the perfect way to like have a companionship, but still be able to focus on yourself and like build your own career. It's like, what a perfect situation, really.
It actually worked out really well because like I wouldn't go out because I had a boyfriend that was away, so I would I would stay home and study but he doesn't deserve any credit, but
yeah, that you were a good person in that situation.
Yeah. Right.
That's how long were you all together? I mean, how long?
Gosh, a long time.
At least for a sentence.
Yeah. 36 to 42 months, something like that.
Oh man.
It was good time.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Okay. All right. So dating this guy, dumbest thing you did in your 20s, but what do you think is the dumbest purchase you've ever made?
The dumbest purchase. I was trying to think of this. I don't know. I spend my money on stupid shit that I don't need.
Yeah,
I guess
vacation. I mean, that's like
Oh yeah. One time I went to Mexico, and I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake.
Were you at like a resort, or did you go to like Mexico?
No, I was at all inclusive.
Gotcha.
With So that was probably the biggest mistake. And then once you put it on that credit card and you don't pay it off,
Ooh,
that just really gets away from you.
Yeah, that trip gets way more expensive than you had originally planned.
I didn't know you could just not pay it off. I mean, I've been paying off Disney.
And now we're going to move into our politics questions, which we love here. We love asking comics this. To start us off, what do you think your most bigoted opinion is?
This question is wild.
We've gotten some wild answers.
I bet.
From all the different open micers we've had on the show, we've gotten some wild answers.
Yeah. I think that if you're over 65, you can't drive anymore unless you take a driver's test.
We've actually had that answer before.
No shit.
Yeah, I think it was Ryan Bush. He said the exact same thing. Like once you hit a certain age, no more driving.
But I don't think he wanted the test. He was just like, "You're done, son."
Yeah. He didn't include a test. He was just like, once you hit a certain age, you are no longer allowed to drive.
I appreciate the test because I feel like I've got at least till 70 in me, personally.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that should. I don't know. I think there's I think it should be at some age at 40-ish. You should start getting evaluations.
I agree.
I have been behind some crazy people, and that may bite me in my own ass. You know what I mean? Bair's ridden with me. I might not pass that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a horrible driver. I'm a horrible driver, but these people are worse.
Right.
And that says something.
Right.
And they need to be evaluated. We need to be doing something.
Keep them off.
They're on cell phones. Cell phones didn't even exist when they got their learner's permit, and now they're driving around doing that.
When you see somebody texting and driving and their screen, because they can't see, that's blown up so big, you can read the text as you're driving past them. You need to get off the fucking road.
Yeah. I can't stand it. Especially in Bentonville's bad enough. The traffic here is bad enough. So.
All right. What? Is there a conspiracy theory out there that you low-key believe? You smiled like, there might be one.
Yeah. The Denver airport,
oh, that's a great one.
That kind of stuff.
Where they have the city underneath the airport and all the bunkers and stuff. Yeah, I love that one.
And the airport leans into it with their artwork.
And I love that. And that makes me think that it is true because it's we're all taking it as a joke.
Right. And then it's right there in front of you. And they got that, what is that, the Bronco statue or whatever that is that's out there. I went down a YouTube rabbit hole on this one day.
Yeah.
That's definitely a fun one to look into.
It's insane. But there is foreshore tunnels and stuff there.
There's foreshore, a big structure underneath the airport that you're not allowed to go to.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So I think, I'm so into that.
All right. So no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, what would it take for a candidate on the opposite side to get you to vote for him?
What would they have to say?
What would they have to say? What would they have to promise? Like, what would it take to, like, whether you're Republican or Democrat, what would it take for the other side to do or say to be like, you know what, I'm voting for them this time?
Yeah. Protect women. I guess.
Protect women.
Yeah, that's my number one.
They are arguably doing that by that's their argument to all the stuff that they're doing most of the time is like we're gonna take away these rights to protect them.
Well, Donnie knows best. So
I loved that show in the 90s.
All right. So, what is the most absurd political opinion you've ever defended just to troll somebody? It's like just to get a rise out of somebody, whether it's online or in your own personal relationships. Like, what is that one opinion where you will defend it just to get under someone's skin?
Just anything about me being right and my mom being wrong. I feel like I'm the most combative with her. I was trying to think of how to answer this question. I don't feel like I'm that combative when it comes to politics and stuff. I try to be open-minded with people that I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like, but my mom, like, I just can't seem to, I just love to get her all worked up.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really, yeah.
What's something that your mom gets worked up over?
Anything religious.
Okay, is your mom really
she's very
religious?
Catholic, like so anything that has to do with stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she gets all worked up about.
Call her and be like, Mom, the Pope deserved to die.
Oh shit. She texted me the morning that
really?
He died. Yeah, a group chat of my siblings and I, and then I just went off. Like, I was like,
did you immediately blame JD Vance?
I immediately got into another text with just me and her, and I was like, just blew her up. Yeah.
All right. And what is a campaign promise you would make if you ran for office?
What is a campaign promise I would make if I ran for office? No more specialty parking spots in the public parking lots.
Okay.
Whoa.
Like handicap, get in the back of the fucking line. Like, don't
first come, first serve,
Oh
like,
my God.
I've had it.
I can get behind that because it pisses me off when a parking lot is full and there's 6 handicap spots open, but nobody's parking in them. And it's like, come on, guys, are we expecting a wheelchair convention to come in here, or can I go get my groceries, please?
And then they have like the parking spot reserved for people
expecting mothers.
Expecting. Exactly.
On duty
expecting mothers. Yes, I've had it. I'm done.
There's one at Lowe's for vets, for any veterans. Like, they have their own parking spot at Lowe's too.
I mean, that's
I feel like a piece of shit for that one, but
you know what? Fuck it. No, you get out on your one leg and one arm and you hop into this Lowe's.
Yeah, but also, shouldn't they also be able to park at the handicap spot?
I mean, yeah, that is
kind
right.
of going on at that point. But also, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. This may be your more bigoted opinion.
yeah, maybe this is, yeah.
But I do agree about, like, we went overboard in COVID for the pickup spots for like online delivery or whatever, online pickup. There's like the whole half of Target is online pickup. Give me back those spots, dude. No one's doing this anymore.
Exactly.
I already got a Nintendo Switch in 2021. Like, I'm done getting the Target pickup. We're over it, dude. It's stupid.
And our final political question for you is, if you could heckle one politician from history, any time in history, who would it be and why?
I feel like I actually did this the other day. I called Senator Tom Cotton's office like 18 times.
Really?
And asked Pookie where he was. How come he hadn't been at the town hall meetings?
God, yes.
Oh, that is so funny.
So
I got a guy, he's a comic I'm buddies with, I'm not gonna say his name, but he swears up and down that in college he fucked Tom Cotton. And I don't know if he's telling the truth or not, but it brings me so much joy because every time I see Tom Cotton, I'm like, ah.
And now I will share with you in that joy.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. All right. I love Little Rock so much.
Yeah, Little Rock's fun.
All right, Kendra, are you? We're gonna move into dating and relationship questions, which I think, just based on what we talked about already, is gonna be a blast. Are you currently in a relationship with someone, and how long have they been in prison?
Parolees only for me from now on.
Parolees only.
I'm only doing probation, misdemeanors only. No, I'm single. I'm not in a relationship.
Good for you. What's the weirdest or most regrettable message that you've ever sent someone?
Regrettable message.
Yeah, what's that one message you wish you could just get back?
Yeah. All those letters that I sent, maybe. I don't know. What was the question again?
The weirdest or the most regrettable, or both, message. And it could be a text message.
I'll give you an example. We had a comic on. His name's Bryce. He's out of Northeast Arkansas, and he once on Instagram had a sex bot hit him up and talking to him, and he didn't realize it was a sex bot, and he sent them a dick pic, and they sent it to his mom, his brother, his dad. They sent it to his whole family.
No way. Yeah. Whoa.
Incredible.
Okay, I have to copy Bryce. Sending nudes.
Yeah.
To men who didn't deserve them. Before Snapchat.
Yeah.
Wow. We're talking razor phone.
Oh, okay. Back in the day.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Those definitely ended up in some group chats.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did. And I'm sure I did them wonderfully,
That's all right. Everything was so pixelated.
I feel like if it's on a Razor, it's classy.
Yeah.
Like something about the Razor, the flip phone, like it has an element of class to it.
It really does. And again, it's so pixelated. It might as well be Japanese porn.
Right.
You're not seeing shit on that. It doesn't matter. All right. Okay. So, this is a great question because we've only asked the male comics on this question. What is what's the worst gift you've ever been given from a significant other? And I think men give historically bad gifts.
Yeah. Lots of times no gift at all is usually what happens.
I know one time I gave my fiance light bulbs for Christmas. Dude. But they're light bulbs. They're like color changing. Okay, so let me explain. She was complaining that like the lights were either too bright or too soft, or she wanted them to be a different color. So I got her light bulb she could put into any fixture and change the color, change the brightness, and set the mood. And so there was a reason for it. But after when I gave it to her, I thought I was paying attention to her. I'm thinking about her this is gonna be a great gift.
Pretty
and then
thoughtful.
she opened it up and she goes, light bulbs? And then I heard it out loud and I was like, oh yeah, that's probably not the go-to gift.
Yeah. Just hoping you get a clue.
Yeah.
Just hoping you get an idea.
You would have to have that be able to explain that immediately, why you got her those.
No. You said this, you said this, you said, and look, you can put it in any light in the house. You can change the mood of wherever you're at.
It's pretty thoughtful, honestly. I think.
Yeah, that's not bad. The worst gift, I didn't want to go to Six Flags for my birthday.
Nobody does.
And you got tickets.
And I got taken for my 30th birthday, and I got taken, and I threw up after riding a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was worse than what I thought it was going to be. Not good.
Some people throw up on their 30th birthday, but it's usually from alcohol. It's usually not from Superman.
Yeah. Happy 30th birthday. Do you want to wait in line for a minimum of 6 hours altogether and then get a sunburn and then pay way too much for food and booze?
Yeah. My birthday's in July. It's hot as fuck.
Oh my God.
Yeah. it was brutal.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sorry about that. That is legit the worst gift ever. Okay, so what do you think is the biggest red flag that you've ignored in a relationship? I think we can all predict.
Yeah, I mean, it might be the prison. that may have already been
a record.
He wasn't in prison when you met, right? Like that's. Was he like on? Did he have like an ankle bracelet? Did you know prison was on the end of the horizon?
I did not know. Blindsided us both, apparently.
What do you think is your biggest red flag, Kendra?
Man, I'm not good at picking people to be in relationships with. I don't know. My biggest red flag, I'll do whatever I want. And I like to think of myself first, and that can be a huge issue.
Okay, that's fair.
So I don't know if that's a red flag. I don't know.
I feel like that's healthy, though. I feel like that keeps you from being like, you know how when you get in a relationship, especially when you're young and you kind of morph into a different person to fit that relationship,
yes.
that kind of helps guard you against that.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't truly love someone else until you love yourself. You know what I mean? And like if you're
totally
focusing on yourself, you know, this is something I always say to my single friends that are like pissed off that they're alone, and I'm like, dude, if you just have fun and focus on yourself and do the things that you enjoy, then one day you're gonna wake up and some woman has manipulated her way into your life so deeply you don't even know you're in a relationship.
Right.
And they're like,
just wait.
Okay. So like I think maybe you're a different breed, so maybe you just do you, and one day some prison inmate will have pen palled his way back.
Maybe. I hope so. I'm not great at compromising with people. I feel like maybe that's
good.
Maybe that's.
Okay. And now we're going to go on to family questions. What do you think is the most embarrassing thing your parents have ever caught you doing?
Embarrassing thing my parents ever caught me doing. Well, they didn't catch me doing it, but when I came home, I was in high school and I was just hooking up with my boyfriend at the time, and I had hickeys all over me. And I was changing, and my mom saw, and she just freaked out, and I think she knew for sure I wasn't a virgin then, and it was crazy.
You better go tell a priest about this. You better go do some Hail Marys.
Yeah. Or just maybe drugs, smoking drugs or something.
Yeah, just smoking drugs. Oh.
I told you specifically not to smoke drugs.
And here you are. Yeah.
All right. What is in kind of the same vein of that question, what is the biggest secret you've ever kept from your parents?
When I got a tattoo, believe it or not, they knew I was dating the guy in prison, but that would have been a good secret to keep. But yeah, when I got a tattoo, I had told my dad about it, but not my mom. And my mom saw it on me, obviously, and found out about it. And it caused a huge fight between my parents.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It was a massive issue. I guess that touched on some stuff in their relationship. I don't know.
She got a tattoo of Kenny Chesney, man. I thought you loved him. What was the tattoo of?
It was a flower, and then it had a little St. Jude.
Okay.
Just the name of that, on it. Yeah. It was enough to upset my mom.
Controversial.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
What was the weirdest rule in your house growing up?
The weirdest rule?
Yeah.
Or maybe the one that made you the maddest, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like when I was a kid, I would always go over to my friends' houses, and they always had weird rules, hey, don't touch the Mountain Dews past 6 or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually, my dad had Diet Dr. Pepper in the closet, and we were never allowed to have that.
Don't you touch my Dr. Peppers.
Yeah, his Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
make him feel a whole lot better about himself. That's what he'd always say. And we weren't allowed to have any of that.
That's a pretty weird rule.
Yeah.
All right, and this is our last family question. What relative do you avoid the most, and why?
I guess it depends. I was thinking about how I'm going to answer this question. I'll avoid anyone if, it depends. I guess it depends on what's going on. I've definitely avoided people before, family members before,
Do your family support your stand-up?
Yeah, they're great. I mean, I have a great family. I don't want to be shitting on anybody, but
right.
Yeah, you get in those little tips or something. I'll go a few weeks or months without talking to somebody, and it always ends up okay.
You don't have to say names, but is there any family member that you would not want them to see your stand-up?
Yeah, my nana, my grandma.
Yeah. I don't want none.
For sure. I don't
want Mimi to see my shit either, dude.
I don't need her in there.
My
my
first week that I hosted the Looney Bin, this was like back in 2017, 2018, something like that. My grandparents showed up and sat in the front row. And I had written jokes. My grandfather, he had Parkinson's. And so I had written jokes about not only him having Parkinson's, but him dying from Parkinson's. And I was like, and I told him, I was like, look, y'all, I have to do 10 minutes up here, and I have written 10 minutes. So I'm going to have to do all of these jokes. And thankfully, he had a great sense of humor. And I got a lot of my sense of humor from my grandpa. So he was just laughing about it the whole time. But I was really nervous about it. I was like, oh, shit, this could not go well at all.
That's so good, dude.
That's great.
Oh, man. Okay, so talking about personal experiences, what are you, Kendra, a huge fan of? Like, what do you fangirl out on? It could be a movie, anime, a band. What do you really love?
I've been watching a lot of reality TV.
Oh no!
Those Real Housewives and stuff.
Okay.
No.
Have you guys ever seen these TV shows?
So I used to be hooked on shows like Big Brother and Survivor and those kind of reality competitions. So like I get how you can get the bug, because I would get sucked into those shows.
Oh, I get into like the show Alone too, where they're out in the wilderness.
I fucking love Alone. Oh my God.
I am obsessed.
Yes,
that show.
Have you seen the Australia one?
Yeah.
I was going to start it the other day and then I got distracted, but it's only one season, right?
Correct. And the Australia one is awesome. They've got this lady on there. She's like in her 50s, and they drop everybody off, and everybody's kind of like freaking out and stuff. Like, okay, I need to build a shelter. I need to do this. And this lady takes her boots off and is like, I want to play in the mud. And she starts like doing this little witch dance in the mud. And like, it's like you fall in love with her. She is awesome. Yep. And she builds like this little witch hut. And dude, like Alone is great, because when I'm watching that show, like obviously when you watch, like, I could do that, I could survive that.
No way.
But then every season, inevitably there's somebody that they'll spend like weeks building a cabin or building this structure, and they're like, okay, I finally got it done. Now I miss my family. All right, I'm ready to go home. And they just leave it. It's like, what the fuck?
They're like, you know who
it's
would love
wild.
this? My kids.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they just immediately get out. Or they're like, I fucking built this house. I forgot to get food.
Yeah, and they're starving.
Starving, yeah.
I totally forgot about food. And now it's frozen. Everything's frozen.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't prepared at all.
On that Australia season, I won't spoil anything for you, but there is a guy on there that sets a bunch of traps, and they have trail cams that they put on the trap so they can see if animals come to it. And every night he has an animal that's like almost in the trap, and then it'll go off and miss it, and he's like getting gaunt, and he's starving. He's like, fuck, I just got to catch one of these critters. And then he goes out and he watches the camera, and it'll be like a little wallaby. It'll jump in his trap and then jump out right as the trap falls. And it's heartbreaking, because you just see him, because he's so hungry, and he's like, oh no.
He watches it that day?
Yeah, because he can watch the trail cams, because they show him. Dude, it's
too much time on your hands there.
Yeah. I love Alone.
It's such a good show. Such a good show.
Okay. All right. So you're not alone. You're not in the wilderness. You're in society, unfortunately. So what's the pettiest thing that you've ever done to get revenge on someone, Kendra?
Pettiest thing.
Yeah.
Oh, kitty.
Yeah, this is This is my cat Coda, one of my cats. For everybody watching, he is drinking out of this water cup, and this is our decoy water cup. If you haven't seen the episode of the show before,
What?
Yeah. So,
no!
If we put a cup of water in here, he
delicious.
loves drinking out of human cups. So we put this one here as a decoy. He thinks he's stealing our water, but really this one's his.
Yeah, I thought I was stealing your water too. Anyway.
Okay, pettiest thing I've ever done to get revenge on someone. Okay, I had a really shitty roommate once, and I was moving out, and she was gone. She was like at her parents' house for the weekend or something. So when I moved out, I like hid potatoes in different places in the apartment.
Oh, that's terrible.
If you've ever smelt a rotten potato.
Fuck yeah. And you get the little flies, like the little fruit flies that come out of them. Oh, that's dark. Oh,
And I put them everywhere. In the vents, like everything.
Maybe
in the vents? You put it in the vents? What did this bitch do to you?
She was just a bitch the whole time I lived with her. Like, and I was always nice to her, you know. Gotcha. And I just had it, and I thought I can't let this girl live the rest of her life thinking that she didn't bother me. So
I like this, like the idea of her finding one potato and being like, "That's a weird spot for a potato," and then a couple of weeks later finding another one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm floored by this. I'm taking notes. This is excellent. This is very good.
Great.
I kudos. That's the best answer we've had.
Yeah, that is the best answer for that one so far.
Right.
Very good. Okay, so what's the most absurd thing you've done to avoid paying for something?
Absurd thing.
Yeah, what do you think is the weirdest or craziest or most absurd thing you've done to get out of paying for something?
I don't know. Besides like lying and saying I already did.
You can say, bitch, I got money. Like, bitch, I got money. I don't do that. You know what I mean? I pay for my shit. You know? You can say that.
Yeah.
That's an answer too. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good one. What's your most irrational fear? What are you afraid of that you just don't understand why you're afraid of it?
Gosh, I was just talking about that the other day, but like when you were kids, because quicksand is always like, you know, you always think that's going to be like such a huge deal. Irrational fear. I guess that I'm like going to get in trouble if I do something wrong. Like, you know, no one's going to come and get onto me.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I definitely relate with that. I mean,
yes,
you're in your 30s, like you're a grown adult, but still being worried about getting in trouble.
I think I deal with that with you sometimes. Like, I feel like I deal with that with my wife. Like, I'm like, just do it. And you're like, you know, no, I don't want to piss anyone off.
Right.
Fuck 'em.
It's like usually you're not pissing anyone off, you know, like most of the time, probably.
Yeah, I guess my give a damn broke a long time ago, and I'm just, it's not great as a professional person. I think you're doing better by being afraid. Fear is a good thing. There's a way, there's a reason they say it's healthy to fear God, because once you no longer fear God, then your life is inevitably over. Like, it's really done. Your days are fucking numbered, bro. Okay. Keep the fear going.
Okay.
All right, last personal question. What movie do you love that most people hate?
What movie do I love that most people hate? Oh gosh, that most people hate.
What's that movie that, like, it's on TV at the hotel with your family, and then you're like, oh, we gotta watch this, but everyone's like, oh no, there's got to be something else on. I don't want to watch National Treasure again.
Right. Probably something like drama, like sad and not in a good mood, like. Yeah, if I'm with my family in a hotel room and I put on Mystic River, they're not going to be. That's like a really, really sad fucking movie. Like, What
is Mystic River? I haven't even heard of that.
It's an old one too, right?
Kevin Bacon. Who else is in it? Sean Penn is in it. Yeah, I didn't watch it until like maybe 10 years ago or something, but I loved it. And every time I want to watch it, like everyone I'm with says no.
Yeah, no, I like being alive. I like being.
It's a vibe killer.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. You should watch it.
Kendra, if you could erase one photo of yourself online, which photo would it be and how would we find it?
seems dirty to ask a
yeah, that's
lady.
crazy. Something from that Razor phone is out there somewhere, I'm sure.
Well, I meant like in like Facebook.
Right.
I didn't mean like.
No, I know.
How do we find it?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that
something appropriate for us to show the audience?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what the thing is. Like, I don't know if they're on Facebook because that's where they would be.
Mm-hmm.
But any photos of me like in high school, because I was like such an emo.
Ah, okay.
Like just the outfits and the hairstyle, like what? It was bad. So those are pretty embarrassing.
What was your favorite band in high school?
My favorite band in high school. I loved Copeland.
Oh my God.
I liked, who else? Well, the Killers, obviously. I would listen to like Under Oath too, and like scream bands and shit.
All right.
I'm throwing it back for y'all, huh?
Yeah, dude. 2005 was
Death
Mystic
Cab,
River,
Bright
Death Cab for
Eyes.
Cutie. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Fall Out Boy.
Oh, Fall Out Boy for sure.
Okay, I rock some Fall Out Boy. I like
me
Fall
too.
Out Boy.
Yeah.
They're great. All right.
I remember I was like, in high school, and I saw like on MTV2 at my grandma's house, Fall Out Boy like debuted their music video or something, and I was like, sellouts. Like I'm 15, like to the Fall Out Boy. I mean, I didn't quit listening to them, but I was just like so ingrained.
I
in
didn't
that.
hear about them until MTV. So like you were even deeper in the emo culture than I was.
I was in it.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Kendra. I got one more question for you before we wrap this up. What is your guilty pleasure? Something that you enjoy even though it's bad for you?
Should I just pick one thing to talk about?
You can do top three. Like, we can do a top three. That's fine.
I have a lot. Yeah. I'm addicted to Coke Zero.
Okay.
Like, love Coke Zero. Just like stuff like that. Like, I smoke. What else is bad for me? Oh, I stay up really late and sleep in, and like I have no schedule during the summer. So then I'm off the other 9 months of the year. Like I'm just constantly fucking up my sleep schedule.
You smoke? Oh my God.
Well, like I vape. I mean, like,
okay.
you know,
Well,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's not real.
Millennial
Yeah.
smoking.
It's make believe.
Yeah.
It's pretend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess those are pretty normal things, I guess, now that I'm thinking about them.
Pretty standard vices.
Yeah. What are some of the vices? Give me some examples or something.
Me, it's cheeseburgers. Like, especially late at night if I'm on the road or like do a show and it's 11 or midnight at night and I'm coming home and I haven't cooked dinner yet. I'm like, fuck, I need to eat, but there's nothing cooked or prepared. So I'll get some fast food. I'll get a cheeseburger. That's me.
Yeah, mine is I just get a spoon and I scoop up some peanut butter and then I take a squeeze bottle of jelly, usually one of those Cracker Barrel jellies that you get, and I'll squeeze that onto the spoon of peanut butter and then I just take that whole bite.
I've definitely gotten high and eaten a whole jar of peanut butter.
Yeah, dude, I don't. And I'll do that.
Whoa.
I'll do that probably a dozen times until there's no jelly left.
You just don't have any bread for a PB&J, so you just make it in a spoon.
There's bread. I just don't have time for that.
Oh.
Right. There's no time.
I'm gluten free. I'm trying to be healthy here.
Just skip the spoon and
Yeah, just right.
figure out how to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Brian Regan joke, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's like, I want to eat peanut butter jelly, but I don't want to open 2 jars. Be cleaning off God knows how many knives. So that's why they got the peanut butter jelly in 1 jar.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
Kendra, what is your social media handle so our listeners can follow you and follow your stand-up?
Instagram is probably where I post the most. Kendi, Kendiejay, Kendi J.
Kendrea.
And then Kendrea James on Facebook, and I don't have anything else. I'm really lame.
Gotcha. And do you have any shows that you would like us to hype up before we get out of here? Like anything on the horizon coming up that you'd like to promote?
I have a show at the Vanguard, I think the day after the roast.
Nice. May 2nd?
Yeah, May 2nd. So,
Nice.
What's the
I think
Vanguard?
that's what I got.
I haven't heard of that.
It's it used to be a music venue in Tulsa,
Okay.
but they do comedy there, DJs and stuff. It's like downtown, kind of in the Brady district.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this, Kendrea. We
Thanks
really
for
appreciate
having me,
you.
guys.
Yeah. Appreciate your honest answers, and we look forward to seeing you on the roast battle on May 1st at the Joint here in North Little Rock.
Can't wait. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Kendrea. Have a great night. We'll see you really soon.
Thanks.
Yep. Peace.
You too. See you soon.
Running a business is hard in many ways, especially when it comes to tech. Not only do you have to maintain your business, but you've also got to maintain a network for you and your clients, keeping yourselves and your customers connected to the world. And who knows who can hack into your information, accessing sensitive files? And what do these wires even do? You don't have to do this alone. Call the experts at Professional Computer Services Incorporated. They've got master technicians that can help you navigate the wild world of networking. They can set up security against cyber attacks. And they'll be there to tell you that it's actually not a networking issue. We're being attacked by a foreign entity, and it's the end of the world. Time to bug out. IT doesn't have to be scary. Call Professional Computer Services Incorporated.
Does your office feel like you're working out of a shoebox? Does your workspace feel as cramped as a sardine can? Are you juggling work and clutter, literally? You don't have to take drastic measures. With Nabholz Properties, space is no longer an issue. Check out this beautiful office space they have available right now in the Argenta Arts District in downtown North Little Rock. Imagine hosting meetings in a room that inspires. Now imagine enjoying the view while closing your next big deal. At Nabholz Properties, success has room to stretch out. Visit nabprop.com today.